Group 6.
Good morning, everyone. This is our interpretation of the themes of love and marriage in Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy. Love and marriage in the 19th century. Love and marriage in the 19th century was different from marriage in our society today. For instance, marriage in the 19th century was based on morals and family values and religion. And many families were agricultural, and companionship was more important than education. This is why many girls married at a very young age.
Once the girls were married off, the woman's role was to take care of the family and the household and keep everything in order. Men were seen as superior and as breadwinners. The men worked, had more freedom and a better social life. They were also respected more compared to the women.
Love and marriage in the book. Tess.
Tess was the main character in the book Tess of the D'Urbervilles. She's expected to marry at a very young age. Imagine becoming a wife and a potential mother at the age of 16. Alec was Tess's wealthy relative. Alec's father had bought the name D'Urbervilles, and the last of the D'Urbervilles died out a long time ago.
Tess's parents were one of the main reasons why Tess would have been married at a young age, because they were forcing her to marry Alec to be his next of kin. Angel was another main character. He first met Tess at the maid dance, and then they later on met again, and they became engaged. But then he saw Tess in a different light and ran off.
Liza Lou was Tess's sister. The reason we've included her in the themes of love and marriage is because at the end of the book, in the Bible it states that a man or a woman that has brother or sister should marry their husband or wife in case they die and take care of their family. And Tess asked Angel to marry Liza Lou and love her if he can, because she was about to die. Sorrow was the baby that Tess had a year after she was sadly raped by Alec, and in those days the baby was seen as a bastard, and the church did not want to baptize Sorrow because Sorrow was born out of wedlock. Religion plays a part as well, because Angel abandoned Tess because she had sex out of marriage, which was frowned upon in those days, and a man and a woman were only supposed to interact with each other and no one else out of marriage, and they had both done that.
Oh, murder. When Tess and Angel split up from their engagement, Tess thought it was all Alec's fault, so went to find him and eventually murdered him because all her life had been based around him and what he had done to her.
Neglect. Angel had to leave Tess due to her not being a virgin.
Young plays a part in it as well, because Tess was 16 when she first had to go and meet Alec, and her parents wanted to marry at such a young age.
Rejection. Tess rejected Angel's offer to marry him because she didn't feel his family would offer her into his family, because she came from a poor background compared to his.
The book Tess of the D'Urbervilles revolved around death due to Sorrow, Tess's baby dying at a very young age due to an illness, and the death of Tess arose after her murdering Alec.
Loyalty was essential in the marriage. as Angel and Tess got proposed, they both kept a secret, and Angel eventually left Tess because of her secret of her being raped before their being married off.
And forced because Alec forced himself upon Tess. She was forced to get married, and she was expected to get married, and yeah. Abuse as well, because Alec repeatedly took advantage of Tess throughout the book, such as in the beginning when they were on the horse and carriage. Alec only refused to slow down the journey if Tess kissed him. Into marriage today. In today's marriage, we are allowed to marry freely with our parents' consent over the age of 16 to 18. We are allowed to intervene with anyone else's agreement, although it is good for your friends to know about his background. It is not all about social status nowadays and about the passion you feel for the other man. Although in some religions parents still arrange marriages for them and follow, by the 19th century the more supporting groups in today's society.
Marriage in the 19th century was hard, and in some marriage there was no love and passion for each other. In the book Tess of D'Urberville, Tess's mother arranged for her to be married off to Alec, although she disagreed with this and she didn't want to. This was about his social status, and because he was rich, her mother wanted her to have that and to help raise a good family. And if they had sex before the marriage, they were considered to be a hussy, and it was hard for them to be married off into other marriages.
In the scene of maid dance, this is how ladies would try to attract men for them to pick them to be their wife. This is the scene when Tess and Angel first set eyes on each other and then went on to love each other.
In its godlessness and disorder, it betrays the spiritual and moral vacuum that lies at the heart of so-called free thinking.
What is that dreadful music?
Some pagan ritual, I suppose.
Human sacrifice, perhaps.
Angel, what are you doing?
Oh, the ladies need partners and I'm inclined to have a fling. Who's coming with me? Dancing with a troupe of country hoydens. Well, suppose we should be seen.
Sometimes I think you're both made of stone. But I haven't finished this chapter!
Well, tell me what happens. I'll be with you shortly.
Where are your partners?
They're still at work, sir, but they'll be here soon. Will you dance with us, sir?
What's one amongst so many?
Well, then you must choose.
Yeah.
Although Angel didn't choose Tess first of all, as he was leaving, that's when they crossed eyes on each other, and he knew he had made a mistake not to choose her. Thank you for watching. Are there any questions?
Well done, girls. Well done. Outstanding. Any questions about love and marriage in Hardy's time? Come on, don't be shy. Any point about the religious points that they made? About the Liza Lou thing? I thought that was a good point at the end. Come on! Did you know that it was encouraged in the Bible? It kind of you did. It kind of contradicts, doesn't it? What somebody said in another presentation. I think it was Sophie's group about Hardy not really buying into Christianity and trying to go against it a little bit. That at the end he does actually adhere to Christian values by making sure that Liza Lou marries Angel. So it's quite interesting that he tries, but in the end he doesn't go that far as to say no. I'm going to break tradition completely from Christian values. So obviously we'll look at that when we look at the end of the book. Anna, what were you going to say?
Of all the points that you think link to love and marriage, which one do you think was the most influential in that time?
I personally think it's when, even though Angel had an affair out of marriage, and he still neglected Tess, he couldn't accept it, and she wasn't the one that decided to be raped or whatever. So he's kind of contradicting himself.
Yeah, the fact that he had a choice, she didn't.
She didn't have
Yeah.
a choice. It's a bit,
And yet she's the fallen woman and he's not.
yeah.
Excellent. Any more? Okay, round of applause.